Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another edition of Manga After Dark. It's actually not after the dark, it's the daytime. Shout out Saturday, May 11th. Hope everyone's doing well. The academic quarter is full swing. It's like we're just past the halfway point. So hopefully the end is goes smoothly as well. Teaching's been going well. I'm a little bit behind on grading, but I'm not as far behind as I thought I would be at this point. Traditionally, like historically, I was really bad at returning assignments in a timely manner, but this quarter I'm actually fairly up to date and slightly behind. But that's been going well. The research has been steady at least. The bench work has been coming along. Um, I dreaded how much stuff is still in our -80 freezer that I have to process, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But I hope everyone's doing well. If you're in school, hope school's going well, work's going well, life is treating y'all well. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Welcome back to another edition of Pirate Hour. If you're here and I'm here, that means One Piece is out. Shout out to the real pirates of the real world, TCBScans, getting us these scans early. But without further ado, let's dive into the chapter. So, chapter 1114 of One Piece just dropped. Again, 1,114 chapters of One Piece. Let me know in the comments what chapter did you start reading consistently. For me, I was reading the manga all the way through Marineford, and then the Ace Sabo Luffy flashback. Um, and then I went to the manga from then. So it was like 2012, 2013. I've been reading the manga since Dressrosa was like the first manga arc I read, I believe. That's like 20, rough like around 2012, 2013, if I'm remembering the timeline correctly. I was yeah, like a junior in undergrad, yeah, junior or sophomore in undergrad when I started reading One Piece weekly. Um, so yeah, so I don't know. I don't think the manga wasn't up to date when I started reading it. So like Dressrosa was, I was reading it from 2012 around 2013, and Dressrosa was that arc. Um, there's still I don't know what chapter I should actually look to see what chapter the manga was at when I started reading consistency. See how far behind I was. Cause I remember people talking how when Marineford ended in the anime, it wasn't the manga wasn't that much further advanced than Marineford. But I should definitely check to see where the manga was at when I actually started reading One Piece consistently. Um, but yeah, let me know what chapter y'all started reading One Piece consistently. Cause I know with the fandom, there are a lot of people that did the way I did it. They watched the anime, and then when the anime finished, then they switched to the manga, or they stopped the anime at some point and then jumped to the manga. There are definitely still some arcs I want to double back and read it in the manga instead of just watching it in the anime. Um, like for example, I'm one of the Skypiea truthers, or I don't know if we're the truthers or the other side's the truthers, where it's like the anime didn't make Skypiea that enjoyable. Like it was good, but it was like compared to the other arcs of One Piece, I feel like the Skypiea anime arc was like it was fine. Like Enel hard carried the entire arc. Like if Enel wasn't awesome, but there's but Skypiea is so important lore wise, especially with what's happening now in One Piece. So like a lot of arcs, a lot of Oda's arcs are like parallels to earlier arcs. Like for example, the easiest one to match, Doflamingo and Crocodile. He has parallels between P and post time skip arcs consistently. Um, so it's starting to look like Skypiea is like the parallel for the end game, where Emu is the post time skip version of Enel, some individual with an absurd god complex trying to control the world, um, with their powerful Devil Fruit ability or whatever Emu has at their beck and call. So I definitely want to reread Skypiea actually and see if I enjoy it better reading it than I did watching it. I just lost half my viewership. Oh my god, he didn't like Skypiea. Oh my god, no, I didn't like this guy. but it's always funny. Like every once in a while, that the Skypea debate comes up whether or not, and people are so entrenched in their camp of whether or not they enjoyed the arc. Some people think it's like the best pre-time skip arc somehow. That's a crazy opinion, in my opinion. Some people think it's horrible, which is also crazy in my opinion. It's always funny seeing the different debates about Skypea that pop up every now and then. All right, but without further ado, again, shout out to TCBScans. Let's dive into chapter 1114 of One Piece, The Wings of Icarus. So, if I remember my Greek mythology correctly, Icarus is the dude that flew. So, Icarus and his dad were in a prison, um, and then they decided to build wax wings to escape the prison. And then, so Icarus' dad told Icarus, "Don't fly too low, because the water will get the wings wet, and you'll fall into the water and drown." He also told Icarus, don't fly too high, because the sun will melt the wax, and then you'll just the wings will come undone, and you'll fall. And that's how they will escape this prison. I don't remember how they got into the prison, but they got to the prison. Um, so they built the wings to start flying. Icarus enjoyed the sensation of flight so much that he started going higher and higher. And his dad like, "Don't do it, Icarus." Icarus didn't ignore his dad. Flew high. Wings melted. He plummeted to a pit of rocks. Died. And then so that parable's always been used from that point on to say like, don't get too big for your britches. Don't have too much dip on your chip is the modern way of saying of the Icarus story. Don't put too much dip on the chip. So yeah, so I was a big Greek mythology dude in high school. We actually had a class in high school dedicated to Greek and Roman mythology somehow. Some black high schools have the weirdest classes. I don't understand how a black high school have a Roman mythology class. It was weird. It wasn't some upper middle class. It was a working class black high school. Everyone there was either middle class or below. So I have no idea how we got a Greek and Roman mythology class out of that circumstances. Um, but I actually really enjoyed it. Like it was like I really got into it. Like it was a really entertaining. Like even got to like other stuff like Beowulf, Gilgamesh. Um, we read parts of the Iliad, Homer's Odyssey. Like it was a dope class. Again, I have no idea how we got this class, because we were missing so many other like. We didn't have a really good typing class, but we had this weird Greek and Roman mythology class for some reason. We didn't have a good sexual education class, but we had this weird Greek and Roman mythology class. We didn't have like you get the point. The class was dope, but we needed better. Like there was other subjects you could have put in our high school other than that Greek and Roman mythology class that would have done the students benefit. But it was still a dope class. I learned a lot. The stories were pretty interesting. Um, and our teacher was black too. It wasn't like some random white person that was stuck in the black high school. It was weird. I don't get it, but whatever. It was a dope class. Maybe he was like some type of classical literature. Who knows? Maybe he was trying to get them student loans paid off. I don't know. But either way, it was a pretty dope class, and I remember a good amount of the Greek mythology from stories that we learned. We watched some of the movies, like how like there's like how Homer, like one of the stories in Homer is that he has this bow that only he can like to put the strings onto the bow. So his wife, so people thought Homer was died because he went on the journey in the Odyssey in the Iliad. So his wife was like the baddest chick there. So and he had a son as well. So his son and his wife were at home while Homer was doing all his crazy fuck shit, fighting cyclopses, sirens, all that stuff. Um, so a bunch of dudes would just show up to Homer's house every single day to try to like get his wife to marry them. So his wife was tired of all these dudes pulling up and like trying to like hit on her and spit game. So she's like, "All right, here's Homer's bow. If you could put the drawstring on, I'll marry you." Because Homer's the only person that knows how to put the drawstring onto the bow. Um, so the dudes were just wasting time. They were just there days upon days upon days try to attach that string onto the bow. And I think it lasted for years. I think Homer was gone for years. Um, Not Homer Simpson, but yeah, Homer I think was gone for years. So dudes were just there every single day for years trying to properly draw the string to the bow. None of them can do it. Homer finally eventually showed up. He draws the string in front of everyone. I believe he shoots some dude with the arrow too for some reason, and that was like the end of it. But yeah, again, dope class had no reason for we. It was a dope class. We probably shouldn't have had it. Our students needed better educational material than Greek and Roman mythology, but it was still a dope class. Let me dive into the chapter. Let me stop reminiscing about my high school days. All right, so chapter 1114 of One Piece, The Wings of Icarus. Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 4. I ask that you complete a pilgrimage to Hakumai and return this sword to Enma's shrine in the late Yasui's stead. So this is Yasui's sword? Okay, cool. So Yamato's gonna journey around Wano and then drop off the sword at Yasui's to Enma's shrine. So Yamato's gonna head to Enma's shrine to drop the sword off. Cool. So is I'm guessing that's Yasui's sword? That doesn't look like that's not Momonosuke's sword. He should have it with him. So I'm assuming that's Yasui's sword. So the world is shocked. Navy HQ, new world. The world's gonna sink into the ocean. So this is Marine HQ. So we got a bunch of Marines. Does he realize what he's saying? Dr. Vegapunk. So we gotta cast the Marines. Akainu! So Akainu's just looking solemnly and he's contemplating something. Smoking as always. The town of mockery. Mocktown. Yeah! This guy's a riot. Is he trying to panic everyone and take the world down with him? So a bunch of people are laughing and got Vegapunk on the screen. And there's some dude in the air jumping, doing a flying kick. How the heck is the whole world meant to sink, Mr. Genius? Ah ha ha ha. The city of the water. Iceberg knew all along. Iceberg was like, I knew it. Something was off. These aqua lagunas were weird. Something was off. The city of water. Water 7. If he was just talking about this city, I'd believe him in an instant. But the whole world? It'll take a lot more than just rising tides to do that. Then we got Paulie looking on. Underwater prison, impaled down. Dofi the goats. Foo 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 foo. How is he? Didn't the government send assassins? This just gets better and better. Isn't it your job to take care of the inmates, Magellan? What are you gonna do if the... I mean, yeah, we'll say that the prison's already underwater. What are you gonna do if the prison gets completely flooded? That's why the assassins are failing. The Magellan's right there. Magellan, you have a point. The sudden sea level rise earlier caused a havoc with some cells, and that was only 1 meter. How many meters would it take to cover the whole world? Dofi, most urban areas would be screwed if water levels rose just another 5 meters. Maybe we all should evacuate. Dofi continues. We could always go somewhere high up. High up is bolded. Dofi knows stuff. What does Dofi know? He's a celestial. He knows the game plan. He knows. So, like, Dofi has to know who Emu is or what Emu is. Dofi has to know. Dofi has to understand the inner workings of the world government somehow. Because that's the only way that makes sense that they haven't smoked him out yet. Because even when he was a pirate, he was actively threatening the Celestials. Why would they leave him just free floating to just like threaten them like that? Dofi must legit know. Like he must like the Don Quixote family might be like a higher up celestial family. Like maybe However, they pick the not the Royal Guard, um, the is it the Royal Guard? Whoever, like, I'm getting confused. No, the Royal Guard's from Bleach. Either way, however they pick those people versus the Gorosei, maybe the Don Quixote family are somehow in the mix. Maybe one of these Royal Guard people is a Don Quixote. That might be a possibility. Might maybe Dofi has a cousin somewhere. Um, so like the dude that wears the mask, in the is it? It's not the Royal Guard. What the hell are their name? I'll look it up after the video. I'll look it up right now. Holy Knights. There we go. Holy Knights. Just came back to me. There was a dude that has like a mask in the Holy Knights. So like with Oda, the masked characters are always he always puts a mask on because they look familiar, or they would look familiar to the audience because they're someone's relative. So maybe that dude's a Don Quixote. Who knows? But Dofi knows a lot, more so than your average Celestial. So Dofi, we could always go somewhere higher up. Ryugu Kingdom, Fishman Island. Father, is that really going to happen? The fish celebrating. Party up, let's go. Water World. Is that really going to happen? So this is Shirahoshi. It sounds so outlandish, Jamon, replied Neptune. Egghead, the island of the future. This is crazy talk. But the world's most acclaimed scientist is saying it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. If it's true, it'll cause a massive panic and chaos. So these are the Marines. Enough with the lies and madness, Vegapunk. So you got the elders. Quickly eradicate the broadcast snail. No, snuff out every living thing you can sense. We can deal with the ramifications. They're gonna kill everyone? We could deal with the ramifications later. Why is Garcia Serra on fire? Who's doing this to him? Garcia Serra is scrapping right now. So we got Warcurry, we got Jupiter, we got Garcia Saturn, and Venus Juru. And then here's Mars. So there's like, so Mars is like heading somewhere. Then we got York is running. Huff, huff. Damn, Stella, did he really spill the beans on everything? So York knows this stuff too. Please humor me for a moment as I make a prediction. So this is Vegapunk. Assuming my sensor data is accurate, a few days from now, as I record this, an exceptionally vicious earthquake will rock the entire planet. The crowd, huh? Oh! Whole cake? This is Smoothie. Smoothie, don't tell me he's talking about today's earthquake. Was there an earthquake last chapter? No. Last chapter, no, there wasn't. I'll check on last chapter to see. I don't think there was an earthquake last chapter. So maybe this is new information. So Smoothie, don't tell me he's talking about today's earthquake. Didn't he die after this recording? And Mont Doors in the background. Following this calamity, sea levels the world over will rise by 1 meter. A number of small islands will become uninhabitable. No way! So there's a bunch of people in boats. Oh yeah, this place is flooded. No way he actually saw it coming? Vegapunk continues. And naturally, many beaches will also be completely submerged. So, what is this? Long Island? I think. I see a giraffe or a horse with a massive neck. In a dude on stilts. If this doesn't come to pass, feel free to disregard the rest of this message. And he's also flooded. There's also water there. Oh, we got fucking full of lead. So, damn. Aokiji got fucked up. Bandages everywhere. Damn. This is freaky. How was he able to call it? So Aokiji is just listening on, and there's pirates in the background panicking. Assuming, however, these events have transpired, then please pay heed to what I have to say. The earthquake I just predicted cannot, strictly speaking, be considered a natural phenomenon. So all spew are screaming, "Wakaya!" I think you can see Garcia Saturn on the edge. Yeah, you can see they're fighting. I think. Yes, this. Whoa! This panel is dope. The Straw Hats are all scrapping. What? Alright, let me take time to dissect this. This is dope. So, Vegapunk. So, this is Garcia Saturn. Vegapunk. Not another word. So, while all this is happening, Lilith is shooting him. Nami is bringing down a thunderbolt on his head. Brooke is like tap 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 tap. Brooke is maxing him out, and Chopper is blocking in guard point, and Usopp is shooting him with Kabuto. Get out of here! I've always naively yearned for. So this is Vegapunk. I've always naively yearned for peace and prosperity. So Garcia Saturn, I think, knocks everyone back, and Robin makes a net to catch everyone. Ooh, wow, yo ho ho ho. Chopper's deflating. Glah. Be gone. And Vegapunk's, I mean, not Vegapunk, Garcia Saturn has like fire coming out of his eyes. He's like dashing towards everyone. This is dope. What? This is such a dope panel. The Straw Hats all scrapping. The weak trio scrapping. Let's go. The weak trio plus Robin, plus Brooke, plus Lilith. That's dope. This might be the panel of the chapter. We'll see what else. Is there a better panel than this in this chapter? Then this might be like at least might be an 8 or a 9 out of 10 at least if there's a panel better than this. Like, woo, this is good. Yo. like seeing the lightning bolt hit him like right here on the head is so cool. Yeah, so Chopper's deflating. Garcia Saturn, be gone. So Garcia Saturn is still rampaging. And that brought me. So this is still Vegapunk. And that brought me to what proved to be my first grave sin. So this is Garcia Saturn. Mars, what is the status of the power station? I am seeing it now. We must preserve the contents of that room, say Garcia Saturn. Then Mars, I am almost there. So Garcia Saturn's still rampaging on. So Vegapunk continues. I was fixated on my dream. I was fixated on my dream of developing an everlasting energy source. And he's breaking through a building. Hell-bent on driving the future to a bigger and brighter future. So Garcia Saturn was like, The mother flame is bright. It must be bright. Because Garcia is stopped, like it was like I see he's blocking his face. Ugh, the mother flame. So Vegapunk, hell-bent on driving the future to driving the world to a bigger and brighter future, but I flew too close to the sun. So that's how the title chapter happened. The mother flame. That's pretty dope. So it's like a giant recovery tank you'll see in Dragon Ball with some liquid and an actual fire inside. And the tank, there's A, the letter, the ampersand, and then MU. A and MU. I don't know if that means anything. And then there's S-108. Those numbers and letters might mean nothing or something. We have to eradicate all life forms. Is he breaking it? We must not yet. Said so someone's telling Garcia Saturn we must, or they're communicating with one another. We have to eradicate all life forms. So they're gonna kill everyone. And then someone else said, then Garcia Sands says, no, we can't kill everyone yet. And then another grocery says, we must be relentless. So who's he trying to spare? Then Vegapunk continues, I shouldn't get ahead of myself though. So we're getting a close up to the fire. I shouldn't get ahead of myself though. I was half expecting a face to show up on the flame. Like, have y'all seen Howl's Moving Castle? Calcifer was like was a living fire. That was like a part of Howl's heart, some shit like that. Sorry if I spoiled the movie. But yeah, I was half expecting like a face or an eye to appear on the fire. I shouldn't get ahead of myself though. So then we're back to the Iron Giant. Stomp. Stomp. It's no use. Nothing's working. So Vegapunk continues. So maybe they're trying to shoot at the Iron Giant or to halt his progress. Or maybe they're trying to stop the fire. I'm assuming they're trying to stop the Iron Giant. Vegapunk continues. In order to understand, so we got Marines. What is it? We didn't even phase it, so yeah, they're trying to attack it. What is it? We didn't even phase it. So we got the Giants running. Youch, that's hot. Is Warcurry on fire? So there's fire everywhere. Dory and Brogy are running through the flames. Luffy's bouncing in the background. And Warcurry's like charging behind it. It looks like Warcurry's like engulfed in flames. Luffy, yeah! Vegapunk continues. Where the world is heading. So we got the Giants. We'll be burned to a crisp if we don't hurry up. Vegapunk continues. We must address the past. Let's go. We must first address the past. Specifically what? Finally. Between 900 and 800 years ago. A century-long period that most think of as a blank part of history. Then we got Emu. We got to get an Emu face reveal. The Emu's here listening to this. Tell the Celestials. Those miserable Marines, what are they doing? Hurry and shut this cretin's mouth. Do all the Celestials know the truth? That's actually low-key shocking. Vegapunk continues. Fittingly, it is known as the Void Century, since all information about it has either been erased or lost. And that is true for the most part, but there is one last key to unlocking some scraps and echoes from back then. So this is one of Roosevelt's daughter. I don't if we know her name, I will not remember it or have not remembered it. To the Celestials, death is too good for him. Bring back his body. I'll tear him limb from limb. So then Roosevelt's daughter, the Void Century, what is he talking about? Who the hell is this? There's some silhouetted dude with the hats. The poneglyphs, those lonely stone dwellings in the various quiet and calm lands all over the globe, the text inscribed on them, once decoded, is our one and only method. Some random dude. Oh, it's Saul. Derishishishi. It's Saul. The text inscribed on them, once decoded, is our one and only method of glimpsing to the unknown past. Orangetown, East Blue. Hey, did you know? So who is this? Way back when 20 kings teamed up to create the world. So there's a child reading a book. I wonder if this old timer knows about any of them. What can you say? What do you think, Cho? Woof. Are we supposed to know who these people are? Orangetown. None of these people look familiar. So we got Amazon Lily. Despite this, any attempts to decipher the poneglyphs is considered taboo by the royal government, and so I felt compelled to commit my second grave sin. I betrayed the government and studied this forbidden era myself. So Robin's listening as well, along with the rest of the Straw Hats. And yeah, Garcia San just went past them. I was fortunate enough to inherit several documents from a certain group of exceptional archaeologists that allowed me to decipher a number of the poneglyphs. Zoro-san, Jinbei-san. So Brooke is calling them out. So either they're there or Brooke is just yelling. So maybe he sees them in the distance. Maybe he has observation hacking. He knows they're nearby, or he's just yelling for help. Vegapunk continues. I pursued this research as far as possible, and I have no regrets. History is a story after all. Whoa, the ground's moving. Slink. What the hell happened? Look, the clouds are stretching. What? History is a story after all. Then Nami says the grounds are moving, and then we see Slink. The clouds are stretching. This must be what Edison was talking about. That's right. With the edge of the clouds further out, we'll be able to leap right into the ocean. So Edison's expanding the cloud, and this schematic actually confirms. So a lot of people are speculating that the clouds that they're on is being emanated from like the building that's shaped like a wine bottle, because we see it looks like there's clouds coming from the top of it. So it's either that the peak of that building was so high that it's in the clouds, or the clouds were coming from that building itself. So okay, so why don't the Marines just shoot that building right there? Just shoot it. Pew 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 pew. It all comes tumbling down. So this just confirms that yeah, the Marines just target that building, just shoot it, make it go boom, and things fall. Maybe that's what the girl stairs is going to do. Maybe they're going to like, all right, bring the clouds down. That's right. With the edge of the clouds further out, we'll be able to leap right into the ocean. So Usopp is smiling. Wheeze, wheeze. Y'all Straw Hats had better make it. Don't you dare get caught by the government. Yeah, Edison's dead. Or at least he's not coming with them. So like, yeah, I was like, Lilith was the only one that has to make it off Egghead, because she's the hot one. All the other Vegapunks, sorry. Old Man Vegapunk is the easiest one to predict dying. Easy. Old. And the fact that he creates clones of himself, yeah. Anime tropes kick in, you're gonna die. The original dies. So then, how are you going to get rid of the rest of the Vegapunks? So now, because Edison, he lost what, 70? He took 72% damage from going through the barrier, so he can't go back up. He doesn't have another 72% to give. So unless someone goes to grab him, he's just going to stay there, if not just die outright. Because he wasn't healthy to begin with. So who knows what his HP bar was at before going through the barrier. So that's another Vegapunk gone. So Shaka got shot in the head. So Lilith has to survive. Shaka shot in the head. Dr. Vegapunk, Kizaru'd. Then Edison went through the barrier. So and York is York is alive. Lilith, Atlas, and then the other one got killed as well. I forgot his name. The big bulky one. So yeah, so that's all Vegapunks. So yeah, so York, Lilith, Atlas are the only ones that are still able to move around. I count Edison as being down. I don't see how he gets up from this, especially being a straight robot. So yeah, so how's Atlas gonna die? That's the question. So is Vinicius just gonna cut her right down? Like, wow, I hit her with one of these. Wait, I got my sword out. Is Vinicius going like Atlas, or like a thrusting stab? So I'm guessing Atlas is gonna die protecting Bonnie somehow. Does York live? I think York lives. I think the world government gets the Mother Flame. I think that should happen. But Lilith is the only one has to make it off of Egghead. So we shall see how the other Vegapunks fare, the last three mobile ones. So Vegapunk continues, and in truth, I only know a small fragment of this 100-year long tale. So we got the Marines. No, so the Marines are like yelling, they're pointing. So Vegapunk continues. It wouldn't be right to leave you with baseless speculation. So I will limit myself to the facts as I know them. So we got Brogy. Enough, Straw Hat. It's pointless. Vegapunk continues. The star of this story was born 900 years ago in a bountiful and advanced kingdom. So Luffy just punched Warcurry. So Luffy, this next move is going to work. And he punches Warcurry right in the nose, right in the snout. So Vegapunk continues. And just like the legendary sun god Nika from the Tales of Elbaf, he too fought with a stretchy and elastic body. They called him Joy Boy. Okay, so this is big. So people were confused about, is Nika and Joy Boy the same person? Because they use Joy Boy Nika interchangeably. So this confirms that Joy Boy is his own individual person, and the Sun God is a fable from Elbaf. So they are two distinct individuals that somehow get wrapped up into the same story. Okay, so this is huge because this was confusing. Was Joy Boy always the Sun God? Was the Sun God a different entity and Joy Boy a different entity? Were they always one and the same? So this confirms no. The Sun God is a story from is a god from Elbaf, a legendary god from Elbaf. So she's an Elbaf deity, and Joy Boy is his own individual that also had an elastic body, just like Sun God Nika. So, based off the One Piece logic, whoever the original Sun God Nika was, either was the first person to add the Gum Gum fruit, or the Nika Nika fruit. I'm just going to refer to it as the Gum Gum fruit, because it's easiest. It's either the Sun God was the first person to eat this fruit, or the fruit's based off of the Sun God. So it's one of the two. So based off of how we know devil fruits, like you can turn the essence of something living into a fruit. So at some point, the Sun God's spirit, so the Sun God might have naturally had a rubbery body, and somehow he got turned into a fruit. His will got transferred into a fruit. Like, so I'm guessing Vegapunk is going to explain devil fruits through through his dead man switch. Because this is a huge plot revelation. So Luffy punches Warcurry, and he says this is going to work, and Vegapunk confirms that just like the legendary Sun God Nika from Elbaf, from Fables of Elbaf, he too had a stretchy and elastic body. They called him Joy Boy. Wow, it didn't work. So Luffy's holding his hand up again, and it hurts. So Dorian Brogy, stop it. You're cracking us up. Yeah. He was the first man to take to the seas. The first one to... Joy Boy was the first pirate. Oh, there's a break. Oda. So Joy Boy was the first pirate. He was the first man to take to the seas. The first one to be called a pirate. The original pirate, One Piece chapter 11, 14, and break next week. Warcurry's skin is really tough. This chapter was goated. Yeah, nothing beat the Straw Hat squabbling with Garcia panel. Best panel. The Mother Flame panel comes close. This is a dope panel. Like, the Mother Flame panel tests Oda's actual art skill. Because there's a lot of fine details and shading, and there's levels to the Mother Flame panel. Like, you could see 3-dimensionals through a 2-dimensional drawing. Like, this is the technically best panel in terms of art skill, because that's hard. Like, looking at the shading and the details to bring a 3-dimensional figure to life on a 2-dimensional panel is hard. And Oda, you can see the curvature. It's beautiful. So this is technically the best panel in terms of like skill, but the Straw Hat squabbling with Garcia Saturn. That this is fire. This is fire. Like Brooke being directly in front of him again. Nami bringing the Thunderbolt down. York shooting him with the blicky. Usopp shooting him. So I'm curious to see. So Chopper's been getting hoed with his direction of his character. He should have been able to heal the kids at Punkcast, or at least treat, or at least he was able to treat them. Let me take that back. Chopper should be like seeing Smiles. Chopper should be like, oh, I want to cure Smiles. I want to figure out how to get this, work on this. Any of these weird, like the Ice Oni stuff. I hope Chopper either developed his own version of it, or seeing how there's so many bioweapons in the world of One Piece, I would hope Chopper's like, all right, let me step up my research doctor game, because Chopper. Because I know some people are like, yo, Chopper's not a scientist, he's a doctor. But in the real world, there's MD PhDs. Like, yes, you can be a medical doctor who also specializes in clinical research. So that is a thing. There are tons of PhDs who aren't MDs who do clinical research. So for the longest, Chopper has been in the role of MD PhD of the crew. He's a research scientist doctor. Like, he's been doing both. So like when you look at the Garcia stabbing him, Chopper is deflating. And then Chopper has a weird look on his face. So it could be that he's just being like, it hurts, but also like there's like the alert lightning bubble thing. Like, like in manga, there's like an alert signal. It's like a jolt of electricity. So Chopper has that above his head, and he's like deflating. So maybe Garcia Saturn's poison bypassed Chopper's guard point, and now it caused Chopper to be like, wait a minute, my guard point didn't work. Like it blocked Big Mom, and this guy just it didn't work. So maybe this will give Chopper increased character motivation to step up his game. But it's interesting that Garcia Saturn just went right past them. I guess the Mother Flame is important, and destroying as much as he can. This is interesting. So are they gonna detonate the Mother Flame? So they want to kill everyone on Egghead, kill all life forms to try to snuff out the broadcast. And Garcia says not yet. Interesting. And the Marines are trying to shoot at the Iron Giant, is doing nothing. And there was an earthquake in the world of One Piece that raised the fire levels. Interesting. So we got Saul, we got the Celestials. We saw a fucking whole cake, which is pretty dope. Aokiji is still injured from the fight. Interesting. Oh, the Lucia was the earthquake. At least that's because that wasn't that. Because I'm still thinking real world time. In One Piece time, the Lucia stuff wasn't that long. No, but it was the other day. No way, Lucia was a couple of days ago from this. No, so I have no idea. So I think this was just like a random earthquake. Because this wasn't Lucia. No. Let me go to 1113. And check. I'm pretty sure there was no earthquake in 1113 or at any point in Egghead. Let's see. The Smoothie said today's earthquake, so it was just something that randomly happened in the chapter this day. Oh, we didn't get to see. So at 11:13, I forgot Bonnie was about to step on Venus-Juro. We didn't see how that ended. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was no earthquake at the end of 1113. Also, back to back chapters. The best panel is Straw Hat squabbling with Garcia Saturn. That was the best chapter of panel of 1113. So back to back weeks. Garcia Saturn versus the Straw Hats by the Sunny. Oh, Bonnie and Venustero. Ooh. Oh, Sanji and Venustero. Nah, Sanji and Venustero has 1113. That Sanji up kick, that was nice. That was nice. I take that back. Sanji up kicking Venustero was the panel of the chapter last week. Not last week, whatever, 3 weeks ago. The panel of this one's the Straw Hat squabbling with Garcia Saturn. But Zoro and Jinbei have to be close because Brook was calling out to them. We saw Dofi. This is a dope chapter. I really enjoyed this chapter. 9 out of 10 for me. We got a lot of information. We cleared up the Joy Boy Sun God stuff. The artwork was beastly in this chapter. 9 out of 10 easy. We got a lot of character progression. Let's get into some toxic power scaling. So there wasn't anything to power scale other than Luffy punching Warcree. So again, the discussion about how strong are the Gorosei? Are they like, are they Yonko level dudes? And if they are, does it make sense? The fact that Gear 5 can't hurt them is scary. By hurting me, like, it seems like when Warcree wants to tighten up, Luffy's Gear 5 attacks aren't doing anything to him. With Garcia Saturn, he was affected by Gear 5. So we don't know if Garcia Saturn has like another level of defense that he wasn't employing. But at least Luffy could like not necessarily yeah, it was kind of casually. Garcia Saturn didn't really put up a challenge to Luffy. But Warcree's just phasing through all of Luffy's attacks like they're not there. Red Rock did nothing, and a Gear 5 attack did nothing. And in fact, Luffy is taking damage from attacking Warcree. So there has to be either there has to be levels to advance Conqueror's coding. So maybe it's possible that Warcree's Conqueror's Haki coding is better than Kaido's. That is a possibility. That's scary. It's a scary thought, like that his defenses are better than Kaido's and even maybe Big Mom's. Like that's scary. Because Kaido can't just phase through a Gear 5 punch to the face. He just can't. Like this, a weaker version of Gear 5 was thrashing Kaido. And Warcree's just eating these attacks. So that's worrisome, kind of power scaling wise. The weak trio got a confidence power up. Even though they did no damage to Garcia Saturn, the fact that like they're legit fighting a dude that's around at least Admiral tier. Like if Kizaru pulled up on them again, although they don't have Haki, so it'll be a different type of struggle. But this is like that type of threat. Like an Admiral pulls up on you, can you defend your crew? And they did, because like part of me was confused because like he wanted to kill Robin, but he cares more about the Mother Flame more. So he just. It was like one of those, if it was easy to kill Robin, I will. But I'm not going to, like, waste time here. So he attempted to kill Robin. They put up a little bit more of a fight than he thought they would, and he pieced out. So that part makes sense. Time is of the essence. He has to get to the Mother Flame, and they plan on killing everyone anyway. So there's no point of hyper-focusing on Robin. Just quick strike, doesn't work, keep it pushing. So that makes sense. But the fact that the Straw Hats were able to defend from this. Like, can you imagine if Akinu says, alright, I have time to throw one punch? Like, and you could defend? Like, that means something. If you can stop Akiyunu from killing someone, even if he has just a moment to attempt to kill a guy, I have one strike. That's it. That's all I could afford time wise. If you can stop Akiyunu from seriously trying to kill someone, even if it's just for a moment, that's a major feat. And Garcia Saturn is at least admiral level, at least. Seeing how Kizaru performed and he performed, they're comparable to each other. So that's this was still a pretty dope part of the chapter. Um, we're gonna forget about it, but it's pretty. This is a pretty dope panel. And seeing the mother flame is pretty cool too. Um, huh. So like, yeah. So I'm curious to see the mother flame. What is it? Um, So like I'm a fan of King of Lightning. So one of his subs thinks this is like he thinks Mother Caramel is like some like end game boss character, because Mother Caramel can also create a sun, um, through the devil fruit powers like Prometheus. Um, I don't what was Mother Caramel's Prometheus called? Um, I don't remember what Mother Caramel called her son creation. Um, but we do know with the soul fruit, um, that you can create living fire. Um, so that subscriber came out was like, oh yeah, so we saw Mother Caramel create living fire. And it's like, and that's how, and like that's what the world government wants. Mother Caramel's like, and Mother Caramel had Big Mom. She had all these other people, so she's some like big end game character. Um, it was a funny video. Like Mother Caramel being the Kaguya is stupid specifically, but I don't think the idea that everything in One Piece is a devil fruit creation. I don't think that's crazy. Like that's not a crazy thought process at all. That someone that had the soul fruit create living like it would not be crazy if this mother flame was just fire created through a devil fruit at some point in the past. That wouldn't be crazy. If it was Mother Caramel, that's stupid writing. That yeah, this is Mother Caramel. Like no, that's well, I guess I wouldn't say stupid writing. Depends on how Oda explained it. But like, if this is something that's if Mother Flame was created like 80 years ago by Mother Caramel, that's weird. But if someone 1,000 years ago had the soul fruit, they took some fire and gave it life, and then this is the ember from that. That wouldn't be crazy. That wouldn't be weird. That's within One Piece lore. So while I think it's ridiculous that Mother Caramel is like the invisible hand that's guiding everyone, the notion that the soul fruit plays a role in this isn't crazy in my opinion. It can very like there's a reason why Big Mom is in the story, and she's still in the story. She like I don't think she's Wano. It doesn't make sense for Wano to be her last appearance in the story. She's 1,000% going to come back. She even said that lava can't kill her. I know it's villain speak, but usually in fiction, works of fiction, if a villain says this won't kill me, it's not gonna kill him. It normally doesn't. They normally survive and come back at a later date. Um, and plus, we just saw Whole Cake. No one's panicking. There's no funeral. There's no what are we gonna do? Like Smooth, like if Big Mom is truly dead, I don't think Smoothie cares about an earthquake. I think the biggest priority is Big Mom dead, Pudding got kidnapped. What are we gonna do? Like I feel like an earthquake does not bother Smoothie or Montdor if Big Mom is dead. I just don't think it does. I think that's the least of their concerns. So I definitely think we're gonna see Big Mom pull up on the Queen Mama chanter, maybe with Kaido. Like, well, Kaido's the one person like, yeah, I think Kaido's dead. Like, Kaido has no reason to come back in this story. Like, he has no reason to come back. If anything, I think it would be dope if Kaido got petrified and Yamato finds Kaido's body during the cover story. I think that would be dope because the volcano erupted at the end of Wano, or at the end of the Onigashima fight. So both Big Mom and Kaido got shot out of the volcano. Like that's what the eruption signified. I don't think it erupted just to erupt. I think the eruption was to give Kaido and Big Mom a way to escape the magma chamber because the lava shot them both up into the sky, and we know that the Queen Mama Chanter was on Wano, and we did not see where the Queen Mama Chanter went. And it's a crew of observation hockey users, and there's still Prometheus and Hera. They should like so in my mind the volcano erupts. Big Mom Kyle gets shot into the sky. They land somewhere. Maybe they're petrified under some lava or magma or whatever, and then eventually they find her. Not Zeus. Prometheus and Hera. They have some type of soul attachment to Big Mom, or just do observation hockey, or Big Mom just wakes up and monsters herself through the lava, and like turns the lava into a homie and rides it to the ship. I think Big Mom is gonna come back in one way, shape, or form. The volcano erupting has a purpose. Kaido is the one person where it's like he has no actual reason to come back. His story got ended. I do want to see more of a Kaido backstory, but based on what we've seen in the manga, Kaido's real backstory is the Rock's flashback, which is why we didn't get it in a while because his child life was just I'm strong, I joined military betrays me. There's no real meat to that. We got that. So I was fine getting cliff notes for that part. Cool. But a lot of people I remember was upset that we sped ran Kaido's flashback. I think that's because the real meat of his flashback is the Rock's story, and we're not going to give the Rock story this early. So I think that's why we never got Kaido's backstory because it's just so it lines up too much with what happens on the Rock's pirate crew. So when we get to the Rock's flashback, we're going to get a lot of Kaido in that, I believe. So the question is when and what's going to be the vehicle for the Rock's flashback. Big Mom, like I think of the Rock's pirates that we know of, Big Mom is the last surviving one that we know of. Maybe we're going to get introduced to some Rock's pirates down the road. But yeah, Charlotte Linlin, as far as we know, is the last surviving key member of the Rock's pirate. Shiki might be roaming the world doing stuff. He is a canon character that hasn't been introduced in the manga. So maybe Shiki might pull up, and that's how we're going to get the Rock's flashback. But yeah, Big Mom is the only person that I can see being the vehicle for it. Katakuri might have been born on the Rock's ship, maybe. But that'd be kind of weird for Katakuri to be the vehicle for the Rock's flashback. That'd be weird. But yeah, Katakuri and his siblings and his was it Oven and Daifuku? They might have been born on the Rock's pirate crew. So I think in the SBS the places of their birth was certain pirate ship. I think that's what it says in the SBS. I might have misremembered, but I'm pretty sure Katakuri, Daifuku, and Oven were born on a certain ship. Whose ship could that have been? It could have been the Queen Mama Chanter for all we knew. But yeah, I think their birth location wasn't revealed because it's probably the Rock's ship that they were born on. I don't know. Yeah. I think that makes sense to me. Maybe Katakuri's dad is Rocks. Who knows? But yeah, I think that their birth location wasn't revealed, so it might be the Rock ship where those triplets were born on. Let's see if I can look on the One Piece wiki. Katakuri One Piece. Let's see if it says where he was born. Let's see, Katakuri One Piece. Does it say? Yeah, I remembered it correctly. So Katakuri was born on a pirate ship far from Totland 48 years ago. So yeah, so we don't know where he was born, but he was born on a pirate ship away from Totland a long time ago. So most likely, Katakuri, Daifuku, and Oven were born on the Rocks ship. That's the only ship that makes sense to me. That Big Mom. That's the only ship we know of Big Mom traveling on. That's not her own ship. So Katakuri, Daifuku, and Oven. It's possible Katakuri's the vehicle for the Rocks flashback because he was there. Like it'll be funny in the God Valley flashback if like while Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard, they're all scrapping. We got fucking Oven, Daifuku, Katakuri, Compote, and fucking Perospero fucking playing Settlers of Catan on the ship. Like that shit would be funny. Um, but yeah, Big Mom had at least five. Probably had at least five kids during her time on the rocks. Perospero, Compote, and then the triplets, Katakuri, Oven, and Daifuku. Um, so yeah, so it's not confirmed Katakuri was born on Rox's ship, but it's heavily implied he was born on Rox's ship. So it's possibility that Katakuri is the vehicle for the Rox flashback. It's possible. Like that's an out. That is an out Oda has. If he wants to say Big Mom is indeed dead, he has an out of Katakuri was also on the Rox's ship as a most likely Katakuri was also on the Rox's ship, and Katakuri could be the one that tells the story of what happened to the pirate crew. But it makes the most sense for Big Mom to be alive, and Big Mom is the vehicle for the flashback. But it was a dope chapter. Let me know what y'all think about the chapter below. I'm going to get out here. You know, the NBA playoffs are in full swing. I'm rooting for the Mavericks. They're up. Their series is tied 1-1 with the OKC Thunder. My hometown Bulls. The Bulls are the Bulls. Maybe one day they won't be allergic to prosperity and they'll be good. But I always had multiple teams I rooted for growing up, so it always made the sting of the Chicago teams not being good. It didn't really bother me because I always rooted for multiple franchises growing up. But I hope the Bulls turn it around because I think the East is more wide open than people think. Like, I don't think the Celtics, like, I need to see the Celtics close the deal before me to like, oh, there's this juggernaut that can't be beat. I need to see the Celtics do it because there's been a lot of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown teams that were quote unquote unbeatable that lost. So I need to see this iteration of the unbeatable Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown team to actually be unbeatable for me to say they're unbeatable. I think the East is more wide open than people think it is. The health with Giannis scares me. He's been getting for the last few playoffs. Giannis has had a pretty significant injury. He was able to muscle through it last year and a year before, but the injuries with Giannis are worrisome. I was never the biggest Dame fan. As like he's a franchise player. No, he's not. He's not. Stop it. You gotta stop. We use the term superstar too liberally, or at least growing up, the term superstar was used interchangeably with franchise player, the same player. But now the term superstar includes non-franchise players. When I say franchise player, I mean like they can solo carry a team to the playoffs and probably win a round. Like LeBron's first run with Cleveland is the biggest example of like carrying a team that did not deserve to be in the playoffs to the playoffs. A lot of Dirk's years with Dallas, those were not good Dallas teams. They got 50 wins every year. Some of the years Kobe had with the Lakers, they got in the playoffs post Shaq and pre the emergence of Gasol. Those were not like good Laker teams, but Kobe still got into the playoffs. The league is more talented now than it is then, so I will say that. So it's not some. I'm an old timer. My league was better than your league. There is more talent today than there was then. That 1,000% is the reason that does factor into why, like, back then, one star could carry a team to 50 wins and a playoff appearance. Nowadays, one star, I still think a single star can get 50 wins or at least 45 wins. Like some of the Russ Harden teams are modern teams in the modern talented era, and they were able to solo carry a team to the playoffs. Jokic, the his first MVP year, wasn't he like a 6 seed? But Jamal Murray was out, and Jokic took that Nuggets team that we didn't think was talented to the playoffs. Um, so it's like so yeah, the 50 win benchmark. We can't hold modern stars to the 50 win benchmark because getting 50 wins is hard in today's NBA. It just is. But 45 wins, nah, you should better get 45. Like the Trailblazers had no excuse to be as poor under Dame's leadership. I'm just sorry. Like the West is tough, but come on, come on. But let me. This is not. I'm not a basketball YouTuber. Let me stop. But let me know what you think about the chapter below. Also, there's a New Japan Pro Wrestling event I'm going to later on today, so I'm hyped for that. So I'll let y'all know how it goes when I hop on next. But hope everyone's doing well. Thank you all for rocking with me. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Peace out. Manga After Dark out.